station.
Let me change that setting.
No worries at all. Just give me a second. My team is also joining. Anybody from your team joining in?
Yes, Mr. Padmanand.
Hi.
Sir, how are you?
I'm good. Good to meet you.
Thank you so
You're
much.
Ritvik. Okay, nice to meet you.
I'm Ritvik. I'm the founder and CEO of SLM Media. I've got Akhilesh also joining from my team. He's part of the sales team. Prabhu will also join in just a bit.
Okay.
But without further ado, I would love to get started so that we can save on time as well. So let me just start out with a quick introduction, Gautam, so that you have more context about what exactly that we do and how that we go about things. So we have been in this business for about 5 years now, and we position ourselves as a growth hacking agency for B2C brands. Currently, just to tell you a bit about the team, we have got team members from some of the most prestigious agencies and companies out there. We've got a fantastic team. They have worked in companies like Shebang, Internet Moguls, and some of these other big names, Dentsu, iProspect, in these type of companies. So the team has got good pedigree. One of the most interesting things about our agency is that in the last 24 months, we have taken two brands from scratch to over 50 to 100 crores in terms of revenue. And one of those companies is funded, like valued at about 300 crores in valuation at the moment. It's called Reginald Men. The other brand that we've taken to that level is called Cause IQ. They're also Shark Tank season 1 brand. Just to put things in perspective, Mamaearth took 4 years to cross 100 crores per year in terms of revenue. So we have done it in less than that time, right? Because of this reason, we are extremely selective of who we are working with. We want to only work with a brand or a brand owner if everything aligns in terms of the culture, the approach towards the brand, and everything. And that's why this call particularly is not a call where we'll close on any deal, right? This is us to provide value and discuss things out. So I want you both to be completely relaxed and just see what we are for, right? From I think if as long as that is good to go, we can get into some questions.
Sure.
One more pointer is that the team that is assigned to any given brand, right? They only work with 5 brands any given time because we want to feel like so there'll be around 10 to 12 members involved any given day. So we want them to be super focused so that you don't feel that you're just one brand of 100,000 agencies, whatever clients, right? So that's taking care of. And the first thing I would love to know is, what is your brand about, your story so far, and what is the vision? We can get started from there.
Sure. So shall I just do a quick screen share?
Please.
I mean, so to give you an idea, I come from a spirits background. I created India's first premium rum called Wild Tiger, which started in 2016, predominantly export and duty-free oriented.
Okay.
But now it's kind of taken a backseat. We are having troubles with Kerala bureaucracy. Running an industry in Kerala is not easy. So I'm moving my operations to Goa. But again, relaunching in a small way as a cocktail can. Now, the call with you is purely to discuss the new snacking venture, which is going to be purely focused on South Indian snacks, savories to be specific, and sweets.
Okay.
And at a later stage, coffee and ready to cook, etc. But in the food and beverage space. And we're very clear. There's no plans for Rasgulla, no plans for Bhujia. It's all going to be the 4 South Indian states. So without further ado, let me give you a quick idea of why the name, the brand, the thought behind it.
Sure.
Are you able to see?
Yep.
So the name Podu, it's it's inherently South Indian. It started in 2005 from a famous movie song, and then in 2000 you must have heard of the song Appadi Podu.
Yeah.
So Appadi Podu kind of became very popular across all Indians. Anybody even in the north, Bengal or Punjab, they were aware of the song. And then with Chennai Super Kings, Dhoni and Whistle Podu from 2008, it's become a global slogan. Any and every Indian that knows anything about cricket can associate that word with positivity. It's more or less like Chak De. It's like do it, but it means come on, let's go. So it's a very positive word, and like I mentioned, inherently South Indian, which is where our the products that we're launching. So perfect cultural fit. Again, the colors of the brand is more like Chennai Super Kings, and Tamil Nadu is kind of associated with yellow.
Yeah.
And then I'll come to the another point how we're creating 4 regional all stars.
Okay.
And more importantly, the name is available across the board, across the world in all trademark classes. At first, I was thinking Nom Nom, but we figured out that Nom Nom is already taken in few countries, and we didn't want to have that battle. So we're super happy with Opodu. I have a lot of good friends in the branding space who feel that we have really cracked everything in-house from a brand identity. So yeah, I've told you that. So the brand story is my niece and me are super close, and during pandemic we were experimenting with a lot of these South Indian savories and brownies, cookies. So we kind of said when the time is right, let's launch a brand which appeals to urban India.
Yeah.
And also, you probably know this better than most people. The brand story becomes very important. And today, there are a zillion brands about father, son, 2 best friends, 2 brothers, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law.
Correct.
But an uncle-niece story is something I don't think the world has heard yet. So that will also give us a lot of traction. Also, we plan to get on Shark Tank at some point. Over the year. So that's the plan. So the logo is again bold. It's a speech bubble. We have 4 regional mascots. So the idea behind the logo is to be along the lines of the Amul girl, topical, borderline cheeky, little controversial, etc. So it's a fun and quirky brand. So the speech bubble really works. And the tagline is eat, treat, repeat. Eat because we are a food brand at the end of the day, and treat is because we feel savories and sweets are all about celebratory, and repeat is to subconsciously bring them back for more. That whole cyclical mindset.
Yeah.
So, now we get to the business part. So one of the things I'm mindful, being a South Indian brand and also being a brand from Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore specifically, is we don't want to get stereotyped as a Madrasi brand. So the whole brand is built on the premise of street energy with a comic vibe. And we're very high on vernacular. We can't market stuff like this as we market a Gucci or a Fendi. We have to talk the language of these people so that what I've understood is there are many popular brands from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. They have not been able to break out of that regional mindset. I don't know if you heard of Krishna Sweets, which is probably the most popular Mysore Pak in India. It's from Coimbatore. We know the people. They've been able to get into the celebrity weddings of Ranveer and Ambani's, but they've not been able to crack Karnataka or Kerala the way they've been able to crack Tamil Nadu. Likewise, in Kerala, there's a brand called Varkis. They have not been successful outside of Kerala. Then in Bangalore, there's Anand and Lal. So all of these guys are regional players, great product, great tasting, but they've not been able to capture South India together. So we're going to use strong vernaculars. So the Tamil Nadu range using the Tamil Nadu colors is called Sema. And all these words roughly kind of mean awesome. Sema means awesome. Adipoli is another Kerala word with all the millennials and Gen Z use. It again means awesome. So the Kerala will be called the Adipoli range.
Okay.
And Karnataka, they say Sakat Machi. Sakat is also, again, it's a popular word for awesome. Andhra is the spicy range. Supru, like Allu Arjun's favorite word. So, how are we going to do this? We have 4 strong regional mascots. Murku Mami, I don't know if you heard of the word Murku. It's crispy chakli. So Murku Mami is a Brahmin lady from Chennai. Her story is at 4 o'clock, come what may, she has to like have her ritual snacks along with her neighborhood friends. Guntur Gunda is the Andhra mascot who's a daytime snacks maker, and he's a nighttime gangster. Techie Raja, of course, anybody that knows Bangalore knows about Bangalore's horrific traffic. So Techie Raja is always stuck in traffic, but he's digs into his Opodu snacks and he starts serving people around. He makes friends. So that's his story. Palan is a Kerala society good guy. He climbs the tree himself, cuts the banana, tapioca, jackfruit chips, and cooks it the same day organically, delivers in his auto rickshaw. He gives samples to kids. So he's an overall society good guy. So the whole brand is about, depending on what happens, current affairs, it's a conversation between these characters. And we'll plug in these characters according to the situation. Now, if there's a huge corruption issue or something that's happened, Guntur Gunda is the strong character who will have a very strong opinion on corruption and stuff like that. Techie Raja will be something like, 50,000 email passwords were compromised in some website thing. That's when Techie Raja will have an opinion on social media.
Correct.
I'm sure you're getting the idea now.
Yep, absolutely.
So this is the starting range. When we launch the product, these are going to be traditional bestsellers from each state, around 3 savories from each state. So these are the popular ones. The Kobe Crunchy mixture is basically Madras mixture is the popular mixture in Tamil Nadu. But since we are from Coimbatore, Coimbatore is known as Kobe. We want to give this a little experiment, but the rest of the stuff you see, Kai Muruku, Ribbon Pakoda, are all like traditional bestsellers. And we don't want to compromise the packaging by saying 100 things like no trans fat, no cholesterol, no vanaspati, no dalda. That seems to be the trend. But we want to keep it simple and just say all fun, love, and natural. And on each packaging, it's missing here, but we're going to put just one message: either no maida, no preservatives, no palm oil. We don't want to put like 8 things and make it so busy.
Correct.
Instead, what we're doing, Ritvik, is on the back of the packaging, we have a campaign called No BS Ingredients. You scan the QR code, and then we have listed out 15 items that we're avoiding deliberately and why we're avoiding. And we're also going to tell them why we're using rice bran oil rather than palm oil, and why we are all hygienically packed, and all of those plus points.
Okay.
So Andhra is the spicy range. Also, we're using a lot of landmarks in the background and stuff. I should also tell you, branding and packaging is my kind of forte. This is just the very initial directions. It's going to be a lot more better in the next couple of weeks.
Makes sense.
Karnataka, again, associated with the blue. We're using the whole traffic narrative on one of the packaging. These are, again, bestsellers from Karnataka. All of them are going to be made in Coimbatore, but we're using actual traditional recipes.
Makes sense.
And Kerala, of course, when we launch, is the chips range. Everybody knows banana chips, tapioca, jackfruit. So that's how we've, hence the green. So now coming to this, we also have a separate Chiki range, which is going to be called Chiki Mouse or Chiki Chiki. We're working on it. The school of thought is because we don't want to have a Chiki brand under Opodu, because in South India, every region has its own different nomenclature for Chiki. Some places call it Mithai, some call it Kadla Barfi, Kadla Mithai. But Chiki is kind of universal. If we go ahead with Opodu, it'll end up being a completely regional thing where rest of India will not kind of embrace it. But whereas having the name Chiki itself in the brand, I think gives us a lot of leverage and power, because I'm sure you heard of Mr. Makana. So Mr. Makana is a category leader, not because they are great packaging or a great tasting product. It's purely the way they've integrated the name Makana into the brand itself. So we feel having this Chiki Mouse, so you have to think of us like Opodu is the parent company and the parent brand.
Correct.
Equivalent to a Coca-Cola, which has Coca-Cola as the main project, then it has got Fanta and Sprite. So here for us, we're going to put a lot of focus on Chiki Mouse, because we cannot perhaps aspire to become the best chakli seller in the world, or the best mixture, or best banana chips. But with a lot of marketing and vision, we can make this Chiki the world's greatest selling and the most #1 Chiki that comes to anyone's mind. So that's why the whole branding, it's going to be targeted at teenagers, quick energy, the smaller pack sizes, etc. So that's Chiki. Now coming back, Ritvik, these 4 characters are going to be virtual characters on the packaging, social media, and the D2C website as mascots. But Chiki Mouse is going to be the live mascot, which you will see at the regional, maybe IPL games, if we get there, the shopping, high footfall locations. The character that's in a outfit that's hugging kids, high-fiving them, taking selfies, giving out samples, etc. And at a later stage, when the time is right, we'll probably make these 4 mascots, we'll bring them to life as real-life mascots.
Okay.
So that is this. And then, this is like a bit of out-of-the-jar thinking for corporates. We'll probably like to do a campaign with Blinkit, because the colors are similar. So the brand USP is 100% South Indian, done in a very contemporary packaging, and the most important word is memorably marketed. What's it called? Paper Boat is known for memories and nostalgia, but we want to be known for being memorable. The way we market it, the way we do our impromptu, the surprise element, the gamification, and so on. Target group, of course, 16 to 45. Dhoni could be a very good brand ambassador, given the whole Whistle Podu. He's a legend in the South. Probably more popular in Tamil Nadu than he is in his own home state.
Yeah.
He's a potential investor in a couple of years once we've had some traction. We're in talks with his family office.
Okay.
So another TG is NRIs, which is a very strong area for me. I've launched my rum in 55 countries, and a lot of the importers are of Indian origin, and they also have food trading and importing. So we'll get a nice head start. While we are calling ourselves a startup, we'll get some nice traction initially itself. Coimbatore is known for many good things: entrepreneurial city, manufacturing hub, the Western Ghats, access to spices, fresh oil, skilled labor. All the manufacturing equipment is here, so we're perfectly poised. Competitors, I think I had mentioned to Prabhu, we pretty much it's sweet Karam coffee. Our price points and stuff are similar, packaging is similar, but I would say ours is more standout than them. Then this is an important slide. We want to move away from that whole mother tradition, 50 years of trust and all that. I think today's gen is getting a little fatigued with all that. They want to see what brands are doing which resonate with them today and not their parents or grandparents. So this is how I would again say memorable is the most important word for us, our pillar.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get into this, but yeah, we're working with a lot of shelf life innovation. If our competitor is 120 days, we're working at getting it up to 150 days. There's a bunch of innovations which are coming. I mean, lots happening in recent months, so we're working on all of that.
Okay.
Strong identity, a good network. We have one of my best friends has about 200 retail stores, so we'll leverage into that to get a head start. And yeah, this is some of the campaigns. We kind of want to own that 4 to 6 o'clock space. The same way, I don't know if you remember the 8 p.m. whiskey ad in the 90s, 98, 99, where 8 p.m. whiskey, the campaign was an Indian and Pakistani general at staring down each other at the border. And when the clock strikes 8, they're both sitting down and drinking a whiskey. So the campaign is 8 p.m. is a time for whiskey and friends. We want to make this whole thing 4 p.m. is a time for your South Indian snacks. And we're working with only influencers, 2 from each state, possibly 1 from each state, and to have a campaign in all the 4 states in the local language vernacular that 4 to 6 o'clock is a time for Podu snacks. So some simple gamification ideas which we can activate at high footfall locations, colleges, canteens, shopping malls, sports events, festivals. So very simple. I mean, the spin the wheel, you win something. If you don't, one of the mascots gives you a hug or you try again. The O-meter is basically you scream into it and it's like a UGC where leaderboard. People can say like one day it could be one Sridevi who's for 7.2 from Chennai. Next day Gokul from Coimbatore beats her at 8. So it's self-generated content and it's easy to activate. And at times we can also have a decibel meter inside the machine and maybe have a person behind it. And instant gratification, the loudest person who screams oh in that 10-minute gets a gift. Simple stuff like this which becomes memorable without breaking the bank. The Crunch crew are the volunteers, kids who are going to help us do all the gaming, giving out samples and stuff at a high footfall location. Then sensory engagement, I think you'll know this better with the whole ASMR. There's a lot to do, like the crunch sound. We can have again a leaderboard based on, we can compare our snack crunch with the others. Blindfolded taste sessions where they're supposed to guess what they're having, which state it's from, what are the spices. So there's a lot we can do from that point of view. And the brand itself, the identity lends itself into that fun. Now today, if you give Haldiram 1,000 crores and tell them to become a fun brand, they cannot do that. But since we're starting off and the team itself are young and we think like teenagers, we can have a really cool head start that we're taking a different direction from what the other traditional snack brands are doing. So this is a little bit more about the cart, which we'll use at community events and trade shows for sampling and for selling. And then the end cap is what you'll see at the supermarkets like D-Mart and so on. At some point, we'd like to have a collaboration with Chennai. At that point, we'll probably do a wafers because wafers seem, even though it's not South Indian, we'll probably come up with a curry flakes or some South Indian touch to give it more purpose. What I've been told is it's better to work with Dhoni rather than CSK because CSK, there are 60 brands that get associated every year. There's too much of noise during the IPL that you will just get lost out. So we'd rather wait for the right time and work with Dhoni directly. And I don't know if you recognize the guy on the right. He's a famous Tamil actor. He's the one who came up with the song Opodu in 2005.
Correct.
So possible collabs for future. Though
Absolutely.
I'm personally not a big fan of celebrity endorsements, especially now, since I feel we've already got a lot going for us with the mascots, the story, the gamification. We don't want to get diluted. Dhoni will be great in 3 years' time when we have distribution across tier 2, tier 3, and we have the product mix for rural India. Then Dhoni makes sense.
Hmm.
Just an idea of the merchandise, if at all the collab happens. So we're launching with savories, and the next phase in a year's time is we want to also get into South Indian sweets and South Indian coffee.
Okay.
And remember, I was telling you we want to be borderline, cheeky, innovative. So stuff like this awesome threesome mixture, which is nothing but a mix of sweet, sour, and spicy. So this will again be in the next phase.
Okay.
And yeah, so we want to create something specifically for drinkers. Nobody has cracked this market but my background in liquor, we'll be able to do a lot of justice to get into bars, big hotel chains, nightclubs. The way we also market it to festivals and party hosts and stuff. This could be exciting, and most of our investors and people I've spoken to are very excited about this category. Sarakku basically means what's a daru. It's kind of daru. It's a cool word for daru. And yeah, we like to go the whole distance. So we've compared our logos with the others. I've asked a lot of my American and Aussie friends, non-Indians. For them, Opodu logo stands out by far more than the others, along with Godesi.
Definitely.
I think we're doing well. This is the idea for Shark Tank, where you know too well when you go on Shark Tank, even if you're not after the money, the PR is huge.
Yeah.
This is something which could be huge for us, but when we start, we're a ready-to-eat brand. But in a couple of years' time, once we've expanded our savories and sweets range, we can have a store experience. Just think about it like a Walt Disney experience. Kids will love it. Our mascots coming to life. Murkumami giving them Tamil Nadu snacks. Guntur Gunda giving them the Andhra spicy snacks.
Yeah.
Raja coming and serving them water. Kids will love it.
Correct.
And of course, we're very conscious of giving back. So we're embracing malnutrition and only for the less privileged kids and working with government schools. So every month we'll take our mascots, take our gamifications, not just feed them, but we'll make some special chickies with extra peanut, more nutritious fiber, khichdi. We'll give them something very nutritional, not necessarily fried murku and stuff. And also the gamifications, it's not just like what another charity goes and serves kids, take some pictures, send it to the media. We want to really enthrall them with our brand and the games so that they don't get us. And media loves to support a brand that even before they kind of are profitable, that's giving back.
Correct.
So yeah, with that, I think you have a good idea of the brand.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this. Because Gautam, like this is something that a lot of people don't go through. This is like you've gone the extra mile to understand this. Obviously, your experience shows there as well, right? About being into this business for quite some time. I have written down a couple of pointers. I want to extrapolate those a little bit. I also want to understand in terms of like, let's say the actual distribution, right? What are the sort of goals that you have for the first 3, 6, 12 months in terms of revenue, and from what sources are you expecting apart from the retail, offline things, that activities you're doing? Specifically from online, what are your expectations from that?
So our business model for the first 3 years is to be 50% e-com, predominantly quick-com and marketplaces. We have been very realistic and we've only put up to 15% for D2C. Everybody scares the hell out of us with D2C. They are like, you need deep pockets. The trend has changed. No one gives a damn about first-party data. If you don't have a clear path to profitability. And I'll be upfront with you, unlike perfumes and cosmetics, our margins are 36, 37%. Unfortunately or fortunately, it'll take us 4 years to get to anywhere close to 45, 46%. And we're not seeing much room for it to be beyond that. D2C looks like a lot more, but then with the whole acquisition costs and delivery, we're going to be bleeding heavily. But one of the ideas we have for D2C is to come up with for example, if you're doing the 100-gram pack sizes for QCOM, we'll do the 150, 200 for D2C, and also special subscription boxes where they can mix and match. They can pick some sweets, some savories. They can prepare for Diwali and festive. So D2C, we're kind of thinking we drive the traffic and show them something which is not available with QCOM or elsewhere.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
explosive stuff. And maybe when we launch a new range, we want to drive traffic and say that for 45 days or 50 days, this is only available on opodu.in.
Got it.
That's the idea. So, in other words, what you find on QCOM, you won't find on our D2C. We want to have that clear demarcation.
Demarcation.
Subscription model, I've been told, never works in food.
Yeah.
Works for medicines and proteins and stuff. But I'm very keen to study it and see how we can kind of stand out with our packaging story and exclusive to make subscription. See, the one thing is, I know it's not an essential, unlike a medicine or like a meat or lentils. But the whole South Indian tradition, people love their. It's almost like a daily thing, you'd say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still think there is a possibility of having a weekly subscription, a bi-weekly, a monthly also. But the challenge here is that instant gratification. People, if it's available on Blinkit, nobody wants to wait for 4 days. They want it now.
Correct.
We have to find out a way where we can still make our D2C a place where it's beyond just discovery. The other thing I'm realizing is people keep telling that use your website as a platform to divert people to Blinkit. I would love to hear what you have to say about that.
Sure, absolutely. I think so, just to give you, so the good thing is, Gautam, so right now I'm in Bangalore, Akhilesh is in Kerala, Prabhu is from, from Andhra Pradesh. So we
wow.
know the exact belt that you're talking about, right? I think Akhilesh did his college from Coimbatore, and Prabhu is obviously from Andhra Pradesh. He's right now in Hyderabad, I'm in Bangalore. Just to tell you a bit more of a backstory of what is my experience with, let's say, South Indian snacks, right? So my grandfather was actually in the Navy. So you already know Navy, Kerala is a very big port, like a station for naval people. So my mom grew up in Kerala. A lot of her years were in Kerala and in Goa is where she spent a lot of her time. And even for us, my dad was also in the army. So we come from a very strong army background. So when you talk about rum, we only know Old Monk. I've never heard about Wild Tiger. So it's one of the other things. But point being that with snacks, particularly, we have had, especially with South Indian snacks, we are a lot into, let's say, banana chips, tapioca chips, chakli, all of that. Chikki also is something which is popular in the north as well as in the south, right? Just telling you my experience with, let's say, something like a banana chips. Um, just to tell you about Blinkit, my experience with, let's say, something like this is that I only prefer one brand for banana chips, right? Which is Cheddar's banana chips, because they give me the best taste all in all from a quality standpoint, crunch standpoint, everything. What I've realized once I was looking at what you guys have prepared in terms of the branding, positioning, products, everything else, is that it might seem that it's very difficult for you to stand out or get distribution, but it's actually not that difficult. It's actually pretty easy because a lot of those food brands that are there, like I know Anand, there's an Anand Street down the lane from where I'm staying here in Bangalore. But in general about snacks, right? I've seen that there is very quickly, because it is a taste-based thing. The moment you're able to differentiate there, people will buy and buy again, right? And it has come to a stage where if I don't find it on Blinkit, I'll order it on Amazon. If I don't find it on Amazon, I'll order it from the website. So that's coming from me. I'm a pure North Indian. I'm from Haryana. So if you can give that same experience not only in the south but even in the north, people will come back. There'll be a big recall there because it's very easy to stand out in terms of taste and branding, right? That's one of the first parts of what I wanted to say. That I think all in all, from what I've seen, it will be very easy to crack into the market because there is no very clear-cut winner there, right? They're there, people are there, but gaining a foothold is not that difficult, right? From what we have seen. A lot of the work that you've done already in terms of branding and packaging is going to give you an edge, because just to give you an example of this other brand, which we scaled from zero to about 8 crores per month, it's called Reginald Men, and they are based out of Hyderabad only.
How do you spell it?
It's Reginald. I'll just type it in for you.
Okay, Reginald.
Yeah, Reginald Men, right? And Cause IQ is the other one. They're Shark Tank season one. Reginald is 8. They're doing about 8 crores per month. Reginald Men, and Cause IQ is about 4 crores a month, right?
These are wellness brands?
Yeah, I put it in the Meet chat.
Sure.
Yeah. So I would want to show you I want to show you the packaging of Reginald Men, okay? Because you'll be shocked to know that this is what their product ranges look like. This is literally their packaging. It's just a white plain bottle, and you'll be surprised to know that the 8 crores is driven by only one or two products, which is the moisturizing sunscreen and the serum, right? And what we have done is, from the D2C standpoint or from the marketplaces standpoint, is that all in all, what this brand has done is that it's just taken the simple product, it just tapped into whatever is the taboo in these places and doubled down on that. And the rest we have just built a lot of social proof through the website, right? Now the funniest part is that all the paid media campaigns, if you go and understand where this 8 crore of revenue is coming in from, 60% of this revenue is driven through regional ads. You'll be surprised to know it's not Hindi, it's not English, it's all regional ads and it's all from these regional places, and it is all prepaid orders.
Wow.
Right? So the most interesting thing what I've learned through my experience while scaling regional men is that there's a lot of power in the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities as well in India. They have a paying capacity, you just have to give them that experience once. And there's a very, very big brand recall because you're tapping into the regional side of things. So the other element that I would say we would want to implement right from the get-go is not caring too much about the English, Hindi kind of demographic, literally tapping into the regional languages and the regional people as well, because they have a very big paying capacity. Through my experiences of staying in tier 2, tier 3 cities as a military kid, I've understood that they might have even more wealth than tier 1 cities, right? So it's not really a big problem. You can easily tap into those markets, which is not at all a big uh, pain point, right? The other thing is, another one very lucky thing for us is that the account manager who I would want to involve here, she has worked with Bikaner Wala. So, and she's already handled bigger budgets for them. She knows how the strategy goes about that. So, understanding what kind of market to tap into, what kind of positioning to take will be very, very crucial there. Talking about the way you want to go about your brand or the company, which is being focused more so on quick commerce and marketplaces and a bit lesser focus on D2C, is a pretty good plan of action. The only thing is that with marketplaces, to get a strong foothold and make it very profitable, a lot of awareness should be driven through something like your paid media and your D2C, your own brand, right? Because people might just compare and just start buying from your quick commerce and your marketplaces. Just to put things in perspective, for brands for brands like Reginald Men and Course IQ, they have got a similar ticket size to what your products have. They're doing about an 8 to 10x ROI on marketplaces. Why? Because all the awareness is being built anyways on Meta, right? Through Meta, Instagram, and YouTube.
ROI or ROAS?
ROAS. So ROAS, right? So whatever they're spending on Flipkart and Amazon, uh, because of the huge amount of organic traffic coming in and searching for it, their rankings have come and made them the top sellers in the categories. So automatically, a 10x ROAS is what they're getting. 8 to 10x ROAS is what they're getting.
That is kind of unheard, right, today?
It isn't unheard because, funnily enough, once you scale a brand, right, because a lot of people don't actually get to that stage of going beyond 30, 40 lakhs per month in terms of revenue. They don't see that kind of uptick in terms of marketplaces. But marketplaces, end of the day, much like YouTube and Google, are search-based platforms. If I see your brand, and it is a very easy brand to remember, Podu, when I see that somewhere, and let's say if I don't want to buy from your website, I get a better offer on marketplaces or quick commerce, I will actually just go ahead and buy from there. So it's all about the brand recall per se. That is why the name is very crucial, right? Which you guys have already cracked quite a bit, right? So you will be able to stand out on those places, right? Because right now, if you actually sit down to start comparing even banana chips, you open up your Blinkit, you'll understand that Cheda, whatever normal branding they've got, they still stand out from the typical transparent packaging of banana chips, right? So it adds that layer of premiumness towards the brand almost inherently, right? So that's something that is going to be there as well. Now, just to tell you a little bit more about what is the kind of scale we can potentially achieve, right? For a brand like Reginald Men, which was tapping into only regional influencers, content creators, and scaling through a D2C standpoint first, they got to about a crore in the first 7 months. They started out at 5 lakhs. Sorry, they started at 1.2 lakhs. Then they went to 3, then 5, then 23 suddenly because we had a couple of viral videos from the regional influencers and we tapped into retargeting ads through there. And then we were off to the races. From 23, we went to, let's say, 40, from 40 to 60, and then 1 crore and above, right? So in 7 months is how we got that trajectory. That similar playbook can be achieved for us as well because people aren't tapping into that. They're too fearful to do it, right? This whole regional influencers thing. But we know for a fact that if you make a very well crafted video with a viral centric thing, you anyways have an energetic branding going on for you. You make a very meme-based or very fun-based ad, it will go viral, right? Especially if you sort of gatekeep the name. You said, you would have seen those videos, right, where people say comment for links. Those are the kind of videos which actually go to 5-10 million views organically. And that's how you can leverage that same audience into retargeting ads, and that gives you a good ROI, right? All in all.
So,
One second. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
yeah, so Ritvik, I maybe want to change gears a bit.
Sure.
So I think both of you are from the creative side of the house.
Yes.
I'm probably the geeky guy in the room.
Yes.
And I've been in the US for a while, did a bunch of tech stuff. Originally I was in Texas, but for this conversation, I would like to say I'm from Missouri. Why
Okay.
Missouri? Because Missouri is known as the show me state,
Mm-hmm.
the nickname.
Yeah.
So Missourians are known for like, I understand everything that you're saying, but show me.
Yeah. Correct.
Right. So let me cut straight to the chase. I
Yeah.
understand we can achieve a lot of scale and things like that. I'm
Correct.
more interested to know how you will actually achieve those scales. What are the technologies and levers and things that you can do to orchestrate very hyper local, targeted, personalized campaigns in the markets that we want to get to?
Correct.
Maybe we'll start there.
Absolutely. So perfect. So I think it was good to set the context so far. I'll want to get into the exact playbooks and the exact strategies that we want to implement to get to where we want to get to. So I'll share my screen. Before I do that, I want to understand what would be the typical average order value of these products. Got 400, 500 rupees. What are you going to price them at, the products?
So you can almost take our pricing at 1 rupee per gram.
Good.
And most of our QCOM packets are either 70 gram. Mostly it's 100 gram.
Okay,
So
got it.
pretty much you can use the sweet caram coffee pricing. And for the website, like I mentioned, we'll completely avoid the 100 gram and we'll do directly 150 and 200.
Got
And
it.
and then if somebody wants a larger thing, if they order half a kilo, then we'll have to give them 2 into 200 plus and 100 kind of that way, because we're not planning to have a half a kilo or a pack size, an individual pack size more than 200 gram in any of the SKUs.
Noted. And what about the website? Do you have a website ready, or is that something you're looking?
Oh no, we've just registered opodu.in.
Okay.
So we've, like I said, I mean, we're kind of hoping. What I've heard is the performance agency ideally would also like to take on the website and
Got
the
it.
so we're kind of
Perfect.
open. We have a very open mind right now. We haven't firmed up on anyone. Obviously, we want the right partner because this channel is going to be huge for us. I want to be the right hand so that I can purely focus on the exports and duty free, knowing that we're in good hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sure. So for Sir and you, I want to first start off with some proof, right, of the work that we do. This is Cost IQ. We aren't under like a very strict NDA with them, so I wanted to just share the results that we're getting at the moment,
Sure.
and just to give you some understanding of what is the scale we can achieve for you guys as well, right? So this is Cost IQ. This is the last 90 days. As you can see, we have done about 7 crores in sales for them in the last 90 days. I would also want to go and give you guys a bigger picture, which is last 365 days, just to get a better understanding of the scale that you can do only through your own website. So this is a Shopify backend, right? This is not quick commerce, this is not marketplaces. That's a separate story altogether. This is just your D2C brand, because I think that is going to be a main channel for driving awareness and the testing place for building your audience set, right? So in the last 365 days, this is what we have done, which is about close to 21 crores and 62 lakhs in terms of sales. Just to give you a bit more insight into the exact uh, like ticket sizes and orders and things like that, I'll just share my screen and go to analytics and show you what are the numbers that we're working for, because that will tie into the mathematics of how do we get to a certain ROAS, ROI, revenue, so on and so forth. Okay, let me just refresh this for a second. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. If you go back also, like there were some peaks and valleys in your graph, right?
Correct.
So what were the specific campaigns that were maybe related to that, and how do you explain seasonality, all those things in this graph? What are some of the experiences that you've had?
Yeah, I will. I'll come to that. So this is like just the last 365 days, right? So this is about 21 crores in sales. You are saying that there were some like peaks and valleys. Now this is a bit, I would say, natural to happen. Why does this happen? Typically because of a lot of reasons, right? For example, if this is January and then there is February, so a lot of times what we do is we do a lot of like a lot of campaigns around certain activities. For example, February is, as we all know, Valentine's month. So a lot of very strong campaigns, a lot of big offers are given around January, right? Because around the actual Valentine's Day, you will not see a big jump, right, in terms of numbers. So typically these are those periods where we have done some flash sales, payday sales, some flat, some other types of offer building, and that's where these kind of sales come in, right? Now the more important thing to understand here are the numbers of what constitutes of the ROAS and everything. So right now with Cost IQ, they're doing a ROAS of about 3.5x. Okay, 3.5 to 3.66 is what they do on their own website. Uh, the numbers which are very crucial to understand here is one is the average order value. The second one is the website conversion rate. This is not accurate because we have got an external party, but it's close to 2 to 3%, right? And then returning customer rate is also a very big one. That's something that we're tapping into right now. That's not a channel we explore very aggressively, but we are going to do. We are going to focus on it right now. Okay. The other thing is that we also need to understand that there's always Pareto's principle going on. We have got multiple SKUs on the website, but only I would say 20% of them drive 80% revenue, which is going to be the case with our brand also, at least from a D2C standpoint. Even like in general, right? Some people will prefer some type of products have a more of a mass appeal. For example, banana chips is everybody knows what banana chips are, right? So they might drive more revenue unless you find another type of bestseller. Website is something which we have been optimizing in terms of the kind of banners, the kind of structures that we have built here, so on and so forth, right? And obviously, they're a Shark Tank season one brand, so that is something that has happened here. The more important thing to note here is what is the exact methodology that we have used to get to these numbers, right? So I'll come to that once and show you exactly what is the approach that we take for the brands that we work with and what is the exact approach that will help us algorithmically get to the numbers that we want to get to. Okay. The first part of it is number one, taking a growth hacking approach, which I think you guys are already doing. A lot of D2C brands don't have the privilege to even think in that way. They just want to start out with their own D2C site. So they're not able to tap into those metrics right off the bat, right? Now, what is the growth hacking approach? It has got 4 pillars primarily. And these 4 pillars are crucial to drive consistent and predictable revenue. Otherwise, if you just focus on one aspect, let's say just Facebook ads, you will not be able to grow. So the first element of this 4 pillar strategy is going to be an omni-channel ad strategy, which means which channel, depending on your stage of business, are you going to tap into? Is it going to be Meta?
Just 1 second, Ritvik. Is
Yeah.
your definition of omni-channel only on digital channels, or does it include in-store?
No, we are digital friendly. We are digital first. Although we do have partners who can get you tapped into like offline, such as let's say banner ads or movie ads and all of that, like
Got
theater ads.
it. Okay,
Right.
I just wanted to get clarification. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So what do I mean by an omni-channel strategy? So an omni-channel strategy is understanding which digital platform to leverage when you're getting started out. In this, I'm not including marketplaces and quick commerce. That's something that we have to do. I'm talking primarily about paid media, which is going to drive your initial set of awareness, right? For a new brand, which is a brand which doesn't have any sort of brand equity, which doesn't know what words, like people don't know about the brand. They are not searching actively for your products, for your brand name. For that, which is considered a cold traffic, the best channel to get started on is going to be Meta and Instagram, right? And 3 months into the space, let's say once you've hit 10, 15, 20, 30 lakhs per month, that's when we can tap into other platforms such as Google and YouTube, which are a bit search based and they're fantastic for retargeting ads. Now, yeah.
Yeah, Ritvik, a couple of things here.
Yeah.
So I don't see WhatsApp on this, and I don't see email. I'm assuming based on these logos.
It'll come later.
They'll come. Okay,
come later.
okay, fine. You can get to that question. The other
Yeah.
thing is, in a world where people are now moving to AI, including you guys are using AI, People are using, moving away from chat, right? They're going to directly chat GPT and Perplexity, which is bypassing the search engines, right?
Yeah.
So in that world, how do you compensate for, because you're not getting the Google search targeting, that's not your funnel. It's a different funnel. So how do
Yeah.
you compensate for things like that?
Sure. I'll come to that as well.
Sure.
So
Okay.
first thing is, again, as I mentioned, we don't want to do Google or YouTube right off the bat for this exact reason that till the time you don't have brand equity, right? Till the time people don't search for Podu snacks, there's no point running those campaigns. That's why I didn't even suggest that, okay, let's do Google and YouTube also, because we will not convert anybody there. Where we are going to convert people is going to be through Meta and Instagram, where you're showcasing the products in different ways. We are introducing our brand mascots. We're introducing the products. Like for example, what something like Super U is doing. If you know about Super U, it's being run by Ranveer Singh and this other guy who's I think D-Mart's like some nephew guy, right? So those people are using Meta the best in today's day and age, where they're doing timer-based things, taste-based things, and other things to get and build that kind of awareness, which is incredibly important for a new brand. Now, initially understanding why an omni-channel ad strategy is needed also is because we have to think like an investor. We can't have all eggs in one basket. So once we start scaling our spends, right, that is when we start diversifying into the other channels. Now, the biggest problem is that most people don't even know that even on Meta and Instagram, there are 20 different placements that you can show your ad on, right? Like such as feed or stories or reels or marketplaces or the news channels or whatever it is. And each and every placement requires a different kind of strategy which needs to be implemented.
Yeah, I get that. I'm familiar with it.
So that is the first thing.
Hmm.
Second thing about this omni-channel ad strategy is that we will be discussing every single month when is the right time to tap into some other channel also. For example, now Gautam mentioned, and I think you guys have a plan of expanding internationally also, right? So let's say if you want to tap into UAE or USA or UK, whatever it is, there maybe TikTok is a very good option to tap into, right? Or maybe Snapchat is a good option.
What happens every single month? I didn't get that part.
Every end of the month, depending on the numbers that we're getting, the revenue and the scale that we have achieved, we'll recapture it, right? And understand what kind of ad platform you want to tap into. Whenever the time is right, we can tap into more channels, is what I'm saying, right? For example, in Dubai, Meta and Instagram is not a big platform, but TikTok is a big platform. But there are a lot of Indians there. As you might know, a lot of Keralites are there, or people from the south are there as well, because I've stayed in Dubai for 2 years. So we can do more native targeting depending on which country has got more native traffic coming there, more high intent traffic coming there, right? So we are also not nitpicky about the channel that we'll use to advertise. In India, obviously, since we're starting with India, Meta and Instagram is the best channel to go in, right? In terms of the AI aspect, which you're going to be implementing here, we will build a reporting system right into Claude, right? Where we'll anyways have a weekly call and a weekly report. But you guys can any day tap into Claude, chat, we'll build a bot for you. It'll take about 10, 15 days to set up. Once it is set up, you will be able to chat and interact with Claude and extract your reports from there only directly. Okay. That's the first element. That's the first pillar in the growth hacking thing. Second comes the creatives. Now, creatives is something which is very highly misunderstood, and there's no, I don't think anybody has the math of how do you systematically scale a brand using D2C channels, right? There's this preconception that D2C is not good, you'll only lose money, burn money, so on and so forth. That is not the case if you have the right strategy being implemented. And Meta is using this algorithm called Andromeda now. You can do some research on it. Andromeda basically, to summarize it, it means that Meta, if you give it a right kind of creative with exact, let's say, positioning of who you want to, like, let's say, tap into, right? I'll give you an example. If I say that if you are a brand owner doing 10 to 15 lakhs per month and you're into the FMCG space, automatically Meta can analyze which people have tapped into these kind of organic contents or paid content and it'll show it to them without even doing any specific targeting on Meta, right? So having a very strong creative strategy is going to be crucial for us to tap into the right kind of markets. Another thing that is very important here is that every 1 lakh of ad spend that we do on Meta, Instagram, Google, or YouTube requires 10 new creatives and 10 repurposed creatives, which means if you aren't feeding the algorithm 20 creatives for every 1 lakh of ad spend, you will not be able to sustain your ROI. Or you won't be able to scale your ads very profitably, right? So what that means is that when we discuss what is that we do as a team, we don't have any limit in terms of the amount of creatives we can produce for you, which means that we will generate statics, carousels, video edits, depending on the requirement of the stage. If you're doing 1 lakh of ad spend, we'll do 20 creatives. If you're doing, let's say, 10 lakh of ad spend, we'll do 100 creatives, right? Or sorry, 200 creatives, right? That's how it will keep on going. Only one thing that will be not under our mandate here is the acquiring of the raw files, such as the actual content that we have to edit, right? For example, let's say if you want to edit a video from a content creator or from an influencer, they will give us the raw file and we will be doing the editing.
So Ritvik, I understand all of this. I also want to do a time check. Are we good for about till the top of the hour?
Yeah, I think I've got another 15-20 minutes.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So no, please continue because I have a follow up. But okay, so now I'm tracking you. You got your first two stages, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So okay.
The third stage that is there is going to be your CRO. Okay. Now, why is CRO important? Because it's a very simple math, right? Which I'm going to show you through an example. Let's say if you're spending 250 rupees on an ad, you get 100 people on the website. You get one customer from that. Your average product price is, let's say, 500 rupees. So your revenue ends up becoming 500 rupees because one person bought. Since you only spend 250 rupees, you'll get a ROAS of 2. Your conversion rate is 1%. Just by systematically implementing better strategies on the website, which is such as building social proof, gamification, things like that, we can increase that, right? Let's say for the same ad spend of 250 rupees, instead of one person buying, you can have two people buying, and your revenue will be 1,000 rupees instead, and your ROAS will be 4x. So conversion rate and website development is a very, very crucial part of scaling a brand systematically. Okay, and I'll show you all the math behind it also why we are taking this approach. And the fourth element, which is the final element which you were discussing, which you wanted me to touch upon, was the email and the WhatsApp aspect, right? But that is not a paid media channel. That's a retention marketing channel, which you can only see the benefits of after the first 3 months. Okay? Because till the time you don't have a big enough audience set, you're not going to see a strong contribution margin to your main brand, right? You don't see a significant revenue or profits coming in from that. So retention marketing is something also that we have under our mandate. We use a tool like ByteSpeed. It's an AI tool. So what they do is that they basically give you the best timings to tap into your customers. We will be able to build better and more extensive flows. There's also anonymous website identification. Somebody's coming on your website. If they've purchased from someplace else, ByteSpeed has the data. We can tap into those people without them filling out any information on a website as well, right? So that comes under retention marketing. Once all of these four elements are taken care of, that is the only way that you can make your own Shopify website profitable. Otherwise, it's a losing battle if you're only focused on paid ads. Okay. Now, the last element before I leave the stage open to questions is why is it that these four elements are needed to scale a brand? So let's talk about that. Your ROAS or your revenue is a metric of four things. First is cost per click. Second is conversion rate of the website. Third is the average order value of the website. And fourth is the LTV, which is the lifetime customer value. Okay, which is also a returning customer rate. And let me give you an example of how do you almost systematically improve your metrics over a period of time. So let's take an example. Let's say if you're spending 1 lakh rupees in terms of ad spend, right? You get a 15 rupees of cost per click. On your own website, there's a 2% conversion rate and a 500 rupees average ticket size. I'm assuming, let's say if it's like a 500 gram or whatever, for us, maybe it's even lesser. It's 250 or 300 rupees per package if you're selling individual packages. The unfortunate part is with these numbers that we have right now, on a 1 lakh of ad spend, you will only make a revenue of 40,000 rupees. You are anyways at a loss at 60,000. That is only the net loss, right? That's only the gross loss. Then when you get into the details of the market, like agency fees and all, it's which is why a lot of people are scared of working with FMCG brands because of the ticket size being a bit lesser. But how do you get to a stage where, let's say, you make more profits or you make more money through your own website? That is by optimizing on each and every element. For example, let's say that we do more creative ads, we do better ads, we do ads which are more pertaining to the kind of audience you want to tap into, and your cost per click goes from 15 rupees to, let's say, 13 rupees. Okay. Your conversion rate through building a very good website, optimizing on things, adding social proof, we take it to 2.3% in terms of conversion rate. And your average order value, we don't sell individual banana chips package. We only sell a pack of 3 or pack of 4. We get to, let's say, from 300 we go to 600 first, right? That's when you see a significant jump. You haven't changed things very, very aggressively, but even that bit of number tracking will get you to where we want to get to. Let's say by the third month you optimize further, you get even better ads, you have data, you know which audience is working for you. You get to 10 rupees of cost per click. You have fantastic branding, you have everything going for you. The tickets, like the AOV has been increased by 3 times. That is where you actually start making some good significant revenue and profits. And just to seal the deal, you'll have to also do the retention marketing side, right, where 20-30% of additional revenue will be coming in from your pre-existing users. Now this can go, this there can be a bit of leakage. They might not buy from your own website if you don't have a very good offer running. They might buy directly from the quick commerce sites or the marketplaces, right? But the key thing to understand here is that unless and until you're taking this 4 or 5 pillar approach, scaling will be very tricky, right? You'll always be at a loss for your own D2C brand. And the story is very similar to marketplaces also and quick commerce also, right? Especially marketplaces, you need to do the same optimization on creatives, on the ads, on the, let's say, the information that you present, the reviews, you'll have to seed some reviews initially, right? There will be no genuine reviews, you'll have to do seeding of reviews, for example, right? And that's how you go about it.
So Ratvik, I get that, right? So let me ask you a couple of things which we could anticipate. So, for example, right, our biggest competitor here in this is you can arguably say Sweet Karam Coffee, right? So SKC recently with the new GST, they launched an ad campaign saying that we are passing on the GST benefits to our consumer, and they have reduced the prices, and it's a, it's a full interactive thing, and it happens fairly quickly in real time. Now, in such a scenario, I cannot wait a month or something, right? I need to respond immediately. So, how would you advise us where if we have to take like dynamic action, which is really the core of my question, uh, in fairly real time to adapt the creatives as well as the channels and all that they will go into? What are your experiences in that?
So, for a very large part, I think a lot of people, it's for a very large part, it's a gimmick, right? People want to capitalize on certain things. And what we have seen is that anything which is, let's say, an overnight thing, right? Typically, people will see a spike. They might change a couple of things. It's mostly gimmick. They don't actually change any GST numbers and all. And it's just something that they do to capture more audiences, right? But it's not sustainable anyways. We haven't seen it being sustainable anyways. What is sustainable is always going to be your evergreen festivals, evergreen events, which is going to be things like Diwali, New Year's, Black Friday, Valentine's, Holi. And let's say, even if, let's say, I'll give you an example of right now what is going on with some of our brands. We're even doing B2B orders.
But are you basically saying that dynamic pricing is not relevant?
No, dynamic pricing is relevant. What I'm saying is that they're not actually doing a GST reform, right? When they're
No, that's fine. Okay, that is an example I threw out. But my basic point is how do you do dynamic?
It depends. See, it depends on the scale that you're at. So let's say if we are a fairly new brand, we are only doing, let's say, 20, 30, 40, 50 creatives a month. We already have the templates that we have got with us, right? We can make variations of that. That's what we're doing with video edits also. Okay. Let's say if you want to get even crazy, you want to do a video campaign. Let's say if today GST came out, tomorrow we want to run a campaign only that, hey, we are reducing the prices because of GST. Then we can even implement some AI systems. I'll give you an example. I've got a friend, he's based out here in Bangalore only. They have made Indian AI avatars, right? So brands like Frida and all, again, some of these big brands, Haldiram and all, this one, what is that? Dabur, right? They're using these AI avatars to build these creatives. This lady is actually an AI image, and we just have to implement the B rolls there. So depending on how quickly you want to take action, it can be taken. You just have to update us beforehand, and we can plan the campaigns out. Any given time, there are at least 10 to 12 members and an account manager who's taking care of it, right? So communication and things will never be a problem. If you have to make things, change things quickly, we can do it. Obviously, at the stage where brands like Cost IQ, Reginald Men are there, it doesn't make any sense for them to just tweak something because of a trend. They're anyways making money. People will not go to let's say, a competitor just because they have decreased the price there. right? By 10, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, which is what FMCG brand they can do. So it depends. It depends on the situation completely.
So yeah, I agree with that. Another question, and maybe the last question, because I think we also need to rush to something else.
Yes.
But I think this is really good as an introductory call. I probably have a lot more, but just maybe end on this question, which it's not just the regional vibe, but it is actually making it very hyper local. That's why I intentionally use the word.
Yeah.
So, for example, my question is, if we want to launch a campaign and we want to treat the lady in, say, Indiranagar, Bangalore, that you are familiar with, will be very different than, say, something like Saravanampatti in Coimbatore. Very different demographic, or even in Coimbatore, or even in Indiranagar. Say the thing between Indiranagar and versus Koramangala versus Whitefield are all different.
Yeah.
Right. So getting into those very precise, hyper local, precisely timed type of campaigns, have you had any experience with, which also requires dynamic content? Have you had any experience with that?
So I want to understand this a bit better, right? So when you mean by hyper-local activities, are you talking about the D2C side, or is it like for your local campaigns that you might be running in like public?
No, it doesn't matter. Kuch bhi ho, right? It doesn't matter.
Okay, got it. See, when it comes to, as we're well aware, right, even in Karnataka, every different demographic, every different, let's say, taluka or whatever you want to call it, right, will have a different, let's say, accent or a different way of speaking or a different way of doing things. Now, the approach that we took in Reginald is that we have engaged with some partner agencies who are specifically looking at local influences, right, and local content creators, and they will be able to tap into these markets very easily, right, because they have a particular way of speaking the local language and all. The main part is that we can do targeting anyways, right? Let's say if it is going to be Indranagar or if it's going to be Kormangla or it is going to be something else, the approach that we take with even the content that we create, right, is that okay, so I'll give you an example. So right now we're running for Reginald Men or for Cause IQ, which are at, let's say, between 4 to 8 crores. How many ads do you think we're running per month? Just take a wild guess for D2C.
40?
500 to 800 ads are live right now at the moment, right? How are we doing that? We are doing that because one main creative, let's say if there's Podu, we have to introduce the banana chips. The body of the product remains the same, the packaging, where we show the packaging and the ingredients and everything. The hook changes, but so we make 10 hooks and one main body. So automatically, what you're able to do is you're able to tap into more locations with the same body itself.
Got
Right?
it.
So that's how you typically do it. Nowadays, with this tool like Simora and all, you can also change the regional language with one same creative. If you would have seen the ads on, if you are using Hotstar or something, you might have seen that people are running different ads in Karnataka. That same
Correct.
ad
Yeah,
is being
yeah.
in Karnataka also, in Gujarat also, with this just the language being changed.
Correct.
That's for more recall, right? Inherently, everybody knows that this is not a Hindi, like a Kannada ad. They know it. It's just that we are appealing to more people through that manner, right? So to answer your question, how do we get hyper local? When we are making the creative, we have to just make more hooks and we just target the people in that particular demographic, right? We can target people by a 5 kilometer range if you want to do that. So that is possible. I won't suggest it because it really increases the cost per million. The CPM increases significantly. So your cost to get a customer, right, will always be a problem. It's better to go a bit broader. So if I want to do Karnataka, I'll just do Kannada ads and just try the different variations. I wouldn't want to go too hyper local initially, right? Maybe once we have got enough scale, we can do it. Something like that.
Okay. I think I'm okay for
Yeah,
now.
okay. I'll have a couple of questions. Ritvik, so how do we go from here? I mean, would you like to send us a set of questionnaires? What we need to be prepared? What happens next?
Sure.
And before we end the call, I have like just rapid fire 2-3 questions. So
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, do you want to tell us what happens next in terms of questionnaire?
So I'll tell you what happens next, right? I want to still understand the exact scope of work so that we can make a more informed decision. I can make a more personalized proposal to you. One thing that we are very particular about, Gautam and Sir, is that, see, we want to be the final team that you work with, right? That's the agenda. We are not here to do a half-assed job and then you have to keep changing, you get a bad experience, you get bad model. That's not the case here.
Absolutely.
So I want to be a bit careful, I'm sure as you guys would,
Sure.
to take the next steps, right? Now, I've only given you the perspective of what is going to be the paid media thing from a Shopify standpoint, right? So there are a couple of elements, there are a couple of moving parts as I understand it. The first part is the website. So if you don't have the website right now, there's going to be a process of a month or so to build a very good website, because from your brand kit, I can make out you want a very, very nice website, right?
Correct.
It can't just be a standard Shopify templatized website. We have to do a bit of custom coding there and get the right kind of website. So that's one deliverable per se. The good thing is that our developers are very skilled. They've helped me make a software company. We have a software company also. They're very skilled developers. They're full stack developers. So they can build any kind of website that you give them reference to, number one. Number two, the growth hacking thing, which is for your own Shopify website, is one thing, right? So it involves all the four aspects, which is running your ads, doing your creatives, doing your CRO, and once the website is ready, and doing your retention marketing. That's the second deliverable. The third deliverable is going to be the social media. But social media also, I think, there'll be a lot of moment marketing. There'll be a lot of involvement of what is going on offline for you guys and integrating that into the social media as well. Let's say we're doing some activity in a mall today. So our team will have to be updated about what is going on in that activity, some raw clips, and edit it and pass it on, right? The fourth element comes into marketplaces, which also is platform specific. Although I would say that we should not start out too aggressively on marketplaces, we'll automatically see the results in some time, right? Initially, it should just be brand awareness and SEO, because Amazon also requires SEO. So marketplaces, I would suggest Amazon and Flipkart are the best. Amazon is a bit better because you can even do SEO, so you can have stronger ranking right from the get-go, right?
What is STO?
SEO.
SEO. Okay.
Another thing that I will tell you is, which I don't know if people have told you or not, for Amazon and Flipkart both, if you want good sales, if you want to build a credible brand, if you want to be ranked number one, you need reviews. For reviews, there is going to be in review seeding that happens, where these are concocted reviews, but that is all brands do it, right? Especially as a new brand, you can't wait for 10,000 organic reviews, will never come, right? Because the people that you might want to tap into are regional people. They don't even open up their emails for the review form, right? So you have to seed some reviews there. So that's an extensive strategy. Marketplace is very extensive. And Amazon, Flipkart are the best choices to get ahead with. Fifth is the quick commerce. Are you guys listed? Are you going to get listed there?
We will. I mean, to be honest, as we speak, our whole FSSI, all the admin stuff is going on, the packaging design. So a lot of things are happening simultaneously.
So quick commerce also, we didn't get time to go much in depth, but I'll tell you what is the strategy there. On quick commerce, the strategy remains that we need to give people a taste of what we have got. So we have to give tester packs, things like that to people as a freebie, right? Depending on the channel that we want to tap into. It usually requires there are two things in quick commerce. I'm sure you guys have a bit of influence, so maybe you can get it sorted. They don't even accept everybody, or if they accept them, they'll want a 15-20 lakh of inventory kept with them, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we need a very good strategy to not let the inventory waste away on quick commerce. So we can even do ads on quick commerce, such as Blinkit and all. They give you an ads channel, much like Meta, and ads can be run there so that we get ranked on top as featured products.
Okay.
So that's going to be another strategy. The sixth strategy is going to be the B2B gifting. We are doing lead generation for a lot of our customers right now. We have got wooden products, food, FMCG products, all of that. B2B is also a very good market to tap into, considering that wedding season is going on, right? Christmas, New Year's, all of this is going on. You have taken that children wala angle. We can tap into those markets also. They can give you 10, 20, 30 lakh orders in one shot, right?
Correct.
So that's else I would be keen on. And the seventh pillar would be international exposure. Again, a bit later down the line, but our team is very open to running campaigns outside India as well.
Oh, wonderful. And is that something you're already doing?
We are doing it for multiple brands, like Tangerine is a jewelry brand which we're doing it for. We have got a brand based out of Kerala only called Green Heirloom. They're into bronze and Kansa plates. We are doing it for them. We're doing it for a couple of other skincare brands. So everything that is going on at the moment. But that is again stage wise, right? So we'll probably do that 3 months down the line once you have also got some proof of concept for us, right? So these are the 7 pillars. Now the next steps is going to be that I think we should first finalize on what is it, depending on the timelines, when do we start on different things. On basis of that will be a proposal sent.
Okay.
Right? A nice final proposal will be sent on that. But I'll send you all these details over email and we can have a second call for this.
Certainly. Ritik, could you also do the web design, if required, the app take care of the digital amplification.
Yeah, so website is something that we'll do for you. And if you want to get into an app and all, we can do it because as I said, right, my person has literally built the app for me only. So he's a very good developer, full stack developer. So I can assign him as the main head of development here.
Okay, and if it's going to have some detailed level of gamification, is that still something you can do?
So my tool was actually called Sync Up. It's a gamified super app only. So we are very well aware about gamification. So we can implement it.
Okay.
The only thing is with app design, if I'm being very honest with you, with app design, it's better to have a more concrete plan because doing daily updates is very tricky there. So with a phone app, we need to have a UI UX sorted, understanding how the gamification will be in the beginning stages because changing the code again and again will be a bit tricky. So if you have an idea first, the concepts can be built there, right?
Okay.
So we can do that. And let's say if you want to get it done a bit more speedily, I have a very good connect in Ahmedabad who were working with us at the previously. They're an NSE listed company and they're much more affordable than any North South Mumbai agent based out of Ahmedabad.
Got
So something that we can tap into if you want to speed up the app development side. They're very good.
In terms of creatives, would you say that's not your forte? You would prefer us to
Creatives we do in house, but any help would be appreciated because, as I mentioned, right, I would say out of 200 brands that I speak, you guys are in that 1%, right, of those 200 people, the 1 out of 200 people who actually care about branding. So for you, if that is going to be important, we would ideally need some help from your end also. Another food for thought is that brands like Reginald and Cos IQ have some internal designers to assist us in the fast lead generation.
Sure.
We have some in-house people also.
Okay, so at the moment, our agency that's doing all the branding is I'm personally involved as well, but they're Chennai based. But it's likely that we're going to have an in-house. We have 1 or 2 people.
That's never a bad option. We should have some people for marketing and things in-house. We would love to work closely. As I said, right, it's like one team that we're implementing here. So you also having some in-house people who can just directly understand from you also is good.
Sure.
That's not a problem at all.
Sure. Got that. And in terms of social media amplification, is that something you can handle the Instagram and the Pinterest and things for us, Twitter? That's something you can do in-house also?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great. I mean, I totally understand the points where we generate the content, we kind of ideate together. We've got some really cool campaigns in mind. We've got some good influencers, so we can do all that. But where we would definitely need assistance from expertise like you is like amplifying that, which kind of gives us the returns. Just 2-3 quick questions. Are you currently working with any FMCG consumable brand?
We are working with them. So we work with Millet Amma. That's a Shark Tank season 2 brand. Then they moved in-house. We at the peak they were at doing about 70 to 80 lakhs per month at a 5.5x ROAS. Why did they get such a high ROI? Because they had a very big. So they were tapping into millets, the Millet Amma.
Okay.
So all millet-based keywords they were attracting, right? So anybody who's wanting to have ready to eat or ready to cook type of things, they were tapped into that market. So that a very high returning customer rate, almost 50%. So that's one FMCG brand that we scaled. They're based out of Bangalore only. Right now we're working with Bhava Earth. We took them from 0 to 10,000 orders. We're working with them at the moment as well.
With Mama Earth.
Bhava Earth.
Bhava Earth, okay. What category is that?
They're into organic food products like iron products and like supplements. All supplements for FMCG.
And any snack brand or any drink brand?
Supreme Superfoods is one of them that we're working with. They're into snacks right now, and they have also been in the space for the past 2 years. They've also got Supreme Superfoods. I'm putting it into the Google Meet.
Sure.
I'll send it over the email also for you guys to review.
Super. And also, if I have to ask, have you invested yourself in any of the brands or companies that you work with?
I would love to. I think people they don't have the unit economics cracked in, but we are very keen. Like the long-term aim for us is actually going to get into like the VC space. So I had applied to 100x.vc. If you know about those guys, they're based out of Mumbai. And in that same cohort, which I was there in the initial cohort, right? Banana, I think what is that brand called? Some banana chips brand is there.
Beyond Snacks.
Not Beyond. I think it's Kerala Banana Chips. The brand name is only Kerala Banana Chips, right?
Did they come on Shark Tank? Then it's Beyond Snacks.
I think they came on Shark Tank. Yeah. So Beyond Snacks or Kerala Banana Chips, what they were there. So that was one cohort in which I was part of. So I'm pretty much invested into that space. And we're also conducting some events in Bangalore for the same thing. Would love to be a part of it if that is something that we're doing. Cos IQ is a brand where we want to be partners with them, like equity holders. So I'm going to meet them up in Delhi next month as well, right?
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, would this be you in a personal capacity or the company or friends?
Fractional CMO, as a fractional CMO.
It's a fractional CMO. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Sounds good. So let me also think on that. And finally, are you working with any contraceptive brands, anything in the sexual wellness space at all?
No, we are working with supplement brands, but not in the contraceptive space. No.
Okay.
But I will give you some details about that. So when I was in Dubai, so I was working as a growth hacker in Dubai with this company called Bion, and they also had a venture capital firm called Arjuna Capital. They were investing in blockchain and crypto projects. I was there 2 years as their head of growth. They had a company called Bion. They are into this one, like the hair growth thing. So they have got natural products.
But having said that, I think you and me don't have that problem.
Yeah, we don't have that problem. We don't have that problem.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, not yet. Second thing, they were into height growth, and third, they were into sexual wellness. They were getting started into it, but at that time, I had only spearheaded their campaigns to take them from 0 to 1 crore per month, right, for the hair and the height growth products, right. That's something that we did for them.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
What is the last one? So last one, Ritik. So we're talking to quite a few investors. There's a lot of interest, but we're not rushing it in. We want to be sure that we get the right partners on board. If we can take our discussion one step further, would you be okay with us including your company on the partner?
Absolutely, would love to.
Sure, sure. So great, super. So let us know on the follow-up mail, and if you have the minutes, etc. We are happy to quickly get on to the next discussion and see how we can take this.
No. So anything in specific, Gautam and sir, like if you want me to have certain members of these teams, let's say for quick commerce or marketplaces, if you want, we can tap. I can get those my teammates as well. And if you want to have some more detailed discussions, I'm open to doing this. I know this. If you want to do it well, it will take some time, right? I don't want to rush into anything. If you want something like that, you can just send me a follow-up on that email that I sent you today. Just reply back to that with what details you want for the next call. Once you've had a thought about it, I'll schedule the next call accordingly.
So from my perspective, I think given some food for thought, I want to maybe brainstorm with Gautam also on a few things. But I think I generally understand how it works.
Perfect.
That's good.
Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. I'll send you an email on the ones that I have on Calendly, and let's take it from there.
Super.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers, Ritik. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Bye.